Hi there. Until now we covers React built-in hooks. Now we will see how can we create custom hook for ourselves. Custom hook are nothing but a regular JavaScript function, but the React hook is a special function that have the ability to change the state. That's the reason this function is called custom hook. So why we need this custom hook? Because when we need reuse some code multiple component, then instead of copy paste or rewriting the same code again and again, we have to use some technique so that we can reuse some code as we do with a function. In React there are actually three techniques to reuse same code. One is higher order component. We will talk about this higher order component in our later tutorial. Another is render probe technique, and another is custom hook. So let's see how can we create custom hook. When we create custom hook, we have to remember that custom hook name must be prefixed with use keyword. For example, if my hook name is input, I have to use the name useInput. So let's see how can we create custom hook. For this I will create a file. If I save my file, I have to input this file in my app component. So now I can see my input variable appears here. Let's put a tag. Now if I type something like my name, I can see output appears in my top. It is a regular input form handling. So let's put this code in our custom React hook. For that I have to create a file named useInput.js. As we talked earlier that when we create any custom hook, we must prefix with use keyword. It is mandatory. So copy the code from here, paste here. We need use state on top. Now this function must have return. So return name and change handler, because in this file we need two things. One is name and another is change handler. So I have to return these two things. So export default use input export use input. Now let's input this file in our component. So use input hook that in our custom hook. So if I save my file, I can see my code works exactly as before. So this is the custom hook that all the logic used inside a single file, and our main component is so much simpler. So this is the first example of using input custom hook. Let's add a little bit more to see how can we modify our custom hook little bit further. For that, placeholder is equal to username. Okay, if I save my file, remove the output, I can see my placeholder appears. Now this time I will get all three components, because when we create any component in our next tutorial, we will talk about how can we create custom component in React. So when we create any component, then we have some property that already or must have. So we do not need to repeat every code. If we use custom hook, we can solve this type of problem. So let's see. In this input field, I need placeholder, value, onChange. These three property for my input component, and another value for my p tag. So let's move this code, move this file. Now create move this three argument here. It is an object, so replace the enum with object. No need curly braces, no need this one. Now instead of returning these three things, now I will return args, argument or object. So if this time I need two things, on the property of my input field and another one for my name or inside p tag. So I am returning name especially separately, and all the arguments returning in my argument component. So in my code, now this time instead name and this one will be arguments. This I am returning as an array, so I can put any name, it doesn't matter. Now I copied all the arguments as object in my input tag. So if I save my file, I can see it works exactly as before. So I can type my name. So this way custom component create my component lot more simpler. This is a simple example. When we create complex example, for example, how can we download an image and show the image with progress bar and preview the image after downloading in my DOM. So if we do these three things in a single component, my code will be lot more messy. So in this type of scenario, I can create a single custom hook so that it will handle all three things. So whenever we need an image to download from internet and show the progress bar and the when the download will be finished, our picture will be preview in my DOM. So when we create this type of custom hook, we only handle or we only use this way, only return the name or argument. This is the benefit of use custom hook. And now in this custom hook, it is actually a function, so I can send any type of data for my hook. For example, if I refresh my page, my default name, there is no default value, so I can pass default value. For example, Riazu. If I go to my page component, then I can accept that initial value, and this time it will be initial value. Let's see, add a default value, because if we do not pass anything, then this will work fine. So this is my default value. So if I can change and rename, actually it works exactly as a regular function. The only difference is that React hook has the ability to change the state of React state.